call this meeting of the Chippewa County Board of Commissioners to order. We start, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Will Commissioner Kinsella start us off with that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I had to make sure that phone was off. And will the clerk please take roll call attendance?
Commissioner Cooper. Commissioner Kinsella.
Here.
Commissioner McLean. Commissioner Postula.
Here.
Chairman Shackleton.
Here. And unusual, we have two absences today, but we do have a quorum, so we will be doing the business of this meeting. And we move now to additions and deletions to the agenda.
I'll move we approve the agenda as stands.
I'll support.
Motion made and supported to approve the agenda as it was offered. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed vote nay. Motion carries. We move to correspondence received in the clerk's office. That's on page 1 in our packet. And as is often the case, we have several communications from mostly from boards and commissions and governmental units.
I'll make the motion, we receive the communications and forward as appropriate to the departments for action or the appropriate
Support.
boards.
Motion made and supported that the correspondence be acknowledged and forwarded as appropriate. Any discussion? All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed vote nay. Motion carries. Approval of the county board minutes of the regular meeting September 8th, 2014 is next. That's on page 2.
I'll move for the approval of the minutes as presented.
I'll support.
Motion made and supported to approve the regular meeting minutes of September 8th. And is there discussion on the motion? All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed vote nay. Motion carries. We're at the public comment portion of the agenda. If there's anyone from the public who would like to address the board, this is your opportunity. Second call for public comments. Anybody like to speak? And last call. So I close the public comment portion of the meeting and we move to the administrator's report, page 11 rather. Administrator German.
All we have this month are the various reports of Veterans Affairs, War Memorial Hospital, the Sheriff's Department, Public Defender, and Animal Control. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Then if there's no questions or comments, we'll move on to old business. We do have one thing under old business, and that's standing committee reports. Well, I guess we've got a double number there. Anybody wants to bring up under old business, or I'll move to standing committee reports. We move to building grounds and jail, legislative and natural resources, and information technology. Commissioner McLean is the chair, and this is the October 1st meeting. I believe Commissioner Postula is going to.
Right, yeah, he said the other day he wasn't gonna make it, so I agreed to do it for him. A regular meeting of the Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Building and Grounds, Jail, Legislative and Natural Resources Committee met on Wednesday, October 1st, 2014 in the courthouse. Chairman McLean called the meeting to order. All members were present, no one absent, others present, Jim German and Kelly Church. There was no additions or deletions to the agenda, and there was no public comments. RFQs for window and electric. Administrator German noted only one bid had been received for the electrical work in the courthouse. It was moved by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner Postula, to rebid the electrical. Notify the one bidder who had submitted the bid and electric wiring in the tunnel to be also bid. On a voice vote, the motion carried. Are we bringing this up in finance too?
Yeah, that's in finance.
So that'll.
Isn't it? I'm sure it is.
This is for
It's for laying
That
out
was
the RFQ.
electrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forwarded that to. Yeah. So okay, we'll cover that in finance. If not, we can revisit that. 2 bids were received for window replacement in the tower and the 3rd floor offices. The low bid was from active construction the amount of $52,200. It was moved by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner Pastula, to accept the bid from active construction the amount of $52,200 for window replacement and forward it to finance. I guess we're bringing that up in finance too, aren't we?
No, that will,
Yes, yeah, cause I don't remember that being in finance.
Well,
No,
I think it's gonna go back to the building and grounds again.
well, it's gonna go back to finance next month after we have a meeting with the contractors, because Jay felt that there was some questions about the type of windows. And so it will go back to, a meeting next month with the vendors to decide, we want a sample of the window and exactly what type of window, so we had some remaining questions, then it'll come back to finance next month.
Okay, so
How many windows is it?
Quite a few.
About
12 of the round ones and,
Oh, okay.
8 on the top floor and
yeah,
It was 20-something, I remember.
Oh, alright, okay, cause that's a lot of money for windows.
we were gonna
So
do some
windows.
research on the company also. They were from Alanson.
Yes.
yes,
There was
and
no-
when we call them up for their demonstration, we'll be having them bring references that we can check them out.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we did a lot at the meeting, but evidently we are not accomplishing anything there. There was no committee comments, no chairman's comments. It was moved by Commissioner Pastula, seconded by Commissioner Kinsella to adjourn the meeting. On a voice vote, the motion carried, and we adjourned, and I would move for the acceptance of the minutes of the Building and Grounds report.
Support.
Motion made to accept the minutes of the October 1st Building and Grounds and Jail Legislative Natural Resources Information Tech Committee. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. We go to finance, claims, and accounts, and Commissioner Kinsella is gonna favor us with that report.
Thank you. Regular meeting of Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Finance Claims and Accounts Committee was held on Thursday, the 9th at, October 9th at Chippewa County Courthouse, Sault Ste. Marie. Chairman Cooper called the meeting to order at 4 with the quorum present. The members present were Commissioner Pastula, Commissioner Kinsella, Commissioner McLean, and Commissioner Shackleton. Members absent were Commissioner Cooper.
I guess
Chairman
we could
Cooper
correct it
didn't call
later, but yeah, he
the
didn't call the meeting to order because Shackleton ran the
Yeah.
Yeah. in the meeting.
meeting.
So, we should change, that to Commissioner Shackleton, Chairman Shackleton, actually. Others present, Margie Hank, Dave Petrangelo, Jim German, and Kelly Church. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Pastula to approve the agenda as presented. On a voice vote, the motion carried. We moved on, to public comment. No comments were offered, no public was present, at that time. Correspondence and informational items, the committee received the treasurer's investment report, monthly travel report, September Visa billing statement for review, and a grant award notice for 50th Circuit Court for an adult drug court. Agenda items were policy 314, OPEB healthcare annual transfer to MERS. Following policy 314 OPEB healthcare policy, the committee reviewed the delinquent tax revolving analysis, which indicates that a total of $572,297.23 will be added to the DTRF per the policy. $515,067.51 will be sent to the county MERS retiree healthcare fund. It was moved by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner McLean, to approve the transfer from the 2014 DTRF fund of $515,067.51 to the established MERS OPEB retiree healthcare fund. On a voice vote, that motion carried. And just to clarify, it was $515,067.51. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would move that.
I'll support it.
Okay, we have a motion, made and supported. Is there any discussion regarding the motion? I guess we'll go ahead and do it.
I know we've been, I guess we're just
We're
talking about it.
Yeah,
that
we're
was before the
discussing whether we
meeting.
should wait and do this with the budget.
You know, we only have 3 of us here and there's more and the budget's unsure. I don't know, can we change it if we have to before the end of the year?
If we do it now, it's gone. It's gone and it's done. And I guess the question was, looking at doing the budgets coming up here very shortly, is it something that we should wait and do along with the budgets, was really the question.
Well, I think we ought to look at getting a better handle on finances, where we have a pretty good idea that we're gonna be close to $400,000 upside down next year. We've gotten some good input from administrative staff, but there's still questions out there. You know, I think with three of us here to make this one, I would rather think about tabling it, but I really think we should think about tabling to a date certain and setting a date to do it. Now, when that is, I think is still a topic we should discuss in the public forum. Do we wait till next board meeting, for example, or do we meet the end of October requirement? I mean, we got Margie and Kelly here, we have Administrator German here. What are you girls thinking, or what are you guys thinking, or?
I'm wondering what you guys are thinking.
Well, you kinda heard us say what we're thinking, Margie. We've got, you know, we kinda committed to send money from the DTRF into this OPEB fund,
Yes, we have.
so that it would eventually, that outstanding obligation, which our auditors worry about every year, will go away someday in the future, but not too far in the future. At this particular point, we have some options. I think the administrative staff recommended we fund it from fund balance to take care of some of the, not the OPEB obligation, but some of the projected deficit. I don't know, what are you thinking?
Well, I guess the question would be, I mean, I think everybody's intent and desire is to proceed with this and make sure it gets in there. But I guess the question is, you know, looking at the fact that we've got some hard work in front of us, do you want to, for certain, close the door on this issue for the year, or at least have some option along with lots of other options? And I would stress too that over the years, whenever we go into the initial phase of the budget, you know, we've never started off saying, oh, everything's hunky-dory. We always start off with a problem to solve, and we will solve it, and we will balance it, and I guess the question is, do you wanna make the commitment right now of sending $500,000 to this, when maybe it should be on a part of consideration as you move into the budget? And my desire would be to put this in as we all want to do, but I don't think it would hurt if we waited a month either. So it wouldn't really make a difference to the fund or anything, would it? In fact, we may benefit the way the stock market's going by waiting a month and keeping it in cash.
If I may,
I'll let you.
the DTRF should not even be considered in your budget balancing process. It never has been. I don't know why it's coming up now. And the only reason, you know, the OPEB is a good cause. It's you know, it's a worthy thing that we have to fund. And that's the only reason I opened the door, you know, a lot, you know, just even the, you know, to tap into the DTRF, why we're looking at it to balance a budget now.
I wouldn't make too many assumptions too quickly. And
Well,
I think,
that's what it sounds like to me.
okay, I'm speaking now. And I think that what we're talking about is saying, we're just now coming to the conclusion that we've got some serious work to do on the budget to make sure that you get paid and everybody in your department gets paid next year without having to take, you know, without getting cuts and without having things too difficult. So we want to make sure that we all work together on having a budget next year that makes sense for our employees and for the people we're trying to provide services to. So would this potentially be a part of it? Probably not, but I guess what I'm hearing is with 3 out of 5 here, maybe we just put it off for a month and continue to talk about how we're gonna solve the budget, issues, with your input and with everybody's input on how we're gonna do it. So, but in any case, we only have one motion on the floor right now. And,
Do we? We really haven't made a motion, have we?
Yes,
Yeah, you
you
made
did
the
make a
motion, I
motion.
supported it to get it on there.
And you suggested that,
Oh, yeah.
you suggested that maybe, you would wanna table it, but you didn't make that motion. So we need to either vote on the motion or to table it.
Well, I guess, I understand what the treasurer's saying right now, why should we use the DTRF to balance our budget, which is true.
That's
But
reasonable.
it just, we are looking at a $400,000 deficit in the budget. And like Scott said, we are gonna balance it, but it could be costly, I don't know what it's gonna cost us, it's gonna cut into something.
Well, the problem is, I think, is we're sort of at the starting point right now of saying, what tough decisions do we have to make in order to balance this? And I don't know if, we don't have all the answers right now, that's where our work is cut out with us, for us. That's where Kelly and Jim and Chuck and all of us need to start putting our heads together and say, how are we going to fix it this year? And I'd also say that we're not the only county. I've heard news reports on the radio about other counties in the state of Michigan who are going into a tough budget as well. But we'll balance it, and one way or another, it'll get taken care of. But again, I mean, the question is, do you go ahead and do this now, or do you say, look, let's just put this off for a month and let's talk about everything as far as balancing the budget goes. My desire, again, is the same as everybody else's, is to make this deposit into this fund, but I can see where maybe we just need to be able to keep talking, and putting this in cuts off the conversation.
In our earlier actions, did I hear Kelly, was that you saying we have to do something in October, the way we started it?
Spiral policy.
It comes to finance in October, and the one thing that you do need to keep in mind is that this transfer is for 2014. It doesn't have anything to do with 2015. 2015 monies will come up next October from the DTRF on this 90% that's going to OPEB.
So just to clarify, this is something we already committed to in that summer budget thing. This right here.
You committed to this when you set up the policy.
Yes.
We approved the policy last December after many, many months of going around and trying to figure it all out, and this was part of the policy. The investment committee also met to decide whether we should move the monies to different categories, and then this number was to be brought to the finance committee in October each year.
Okay, so the deficit is for next year, and this is for this year, and that's a motion as far as we have, so I guess.
Yeah, and again, the big picture here is, we all wanna fund it. I know we're coming into a tough budget, that we're gonna have to make some tough decisions. I can go either way on this, but either delaying it a month or just voting on it now, I'm okay with either way, But hopefully, even if we did delay it for a month, it would still go in, we'd just delay it for a month. So,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that just kinda came up quick, and you hate to say, all right, we're gonna do it without thinking about it and just follow through with what we thought we were gonna do, and you want some more time to consider. So,
Well, we've got a motion.
yes, we
Yeah.
do, and we're still in the discussion
Yep,
part.
it
And
really, I can't rescind my motion necessarily without at least one other vote. So the way I see this, a motion to table till date certain would take precedence over
Oh, yes.
the motion. So that's the only, I guess really the mechanical question we're dealing with. You
No,
wanna make that
again, as I
motion?
said, a parliamentary
Yeah.
procedure, either we vote on it or we table it. That's the point.
That's the
That's
choice.
where we're at. So, you have anything to add, Ted?
I guess by listening to Margie, I'm willing to vote for it and get it over with, but if you want the other two to have their input, I can go that way too.
Well, let's just vote and see how it goes. I guess I'm inclined to say, let's just go ahead and follow through and do it, and then,
Okay, with that,
we're gonna balance the budget somehow.
if we do go ahead and do it, there's no changing it after today.
It goes.
The check gets
Goes.
written and it's sent in.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna call for the vote then. All in favor, vote aye.
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 If you're a nay, vote nay. And the motion carries. So we
It's done.
just talked and wrung our hands over that for a while for nothing. So but that's okay.
Well,
It-
we
it's-
talked about it.
It came up quick and we needed to just kind of be able to give it some consideration. So that's okay.
Well, I'm glad we were maybe a little wishy, but we weren't washy. How's that? Policy 410, travel and business expenses. The committee reviewed the state of Michigan's travel rates that are effective October 1, 2014. Discussion followed as the county's policy follows select cities, which has an increase of $1.50 for breakfast and lunch and an increase of $3.25 for dinner. No action was taken. A lot of discussion though. Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal 1/1/2015. The committee was updated on the county's renewal for Blue Cross and Blue Shield effective 1/1/2015. Our rates are increasing approximately 7.42%.
Here's part of the problem.
Included in the renewal was a quote for returning back to the self-funded medical insurance, as well as a quote from Consumers Mutual, which neither showed better rates nor savings. The renewal will make one change to the base medical plan, and the participants will not experience a change in out-of-pocket expense. There will only be a savings to the county.
You know, there's a case where our cost for employee benefits goes up 7.5%. The employee doesn't see anything except the same coverage they always had, but our expense goes up. And somehow folks need to realize that even though it's not an increase in your benefits, it is an increase in your benefits because that benefit costs more now. And that's part of the issue is health insurance going up 7.5%. I'm sorry, I jumped right in there on it.
I'm sorry too. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Kinsella to approve the Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal for group, and it has the big long number 007003433, effective January 1, 2015, with one change to the base plan, which will not affect the participants. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported to renew the insurance along with the increase in the rate. Is there discussion on the motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
On the VoIP telephone communications bid summary, that means voice over internet protocol. David Petrangelo addressed the committee regarding the VoIP telephone communications bid summary, which a total of 8 bids were received, 3 were late and not considered, and 2 were disqualified as the conditions of addendum A were not followed. It was verified that they did receive the addendum before they were disqualified. This left 3 viable bids, of which DS Tech had the low bid of $52,460. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Kinsella, to approve the low bid from DS Tech in the amount of $52,460 for a VoIP telephone communication system to be installed in the first quarter of 2015 and to be paid for out of fund balance. On a voice vote, the motion carried, and I would move that.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner Pastula, that we purchase the new telephone system, because the old one is at what, Jim? End of life. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
It was the RFP for the update and rebid, or RFP was discussed, update and rebid electrical with additional work in tunnel. The committee reviewed the updated RFP for courthouse electrical updates number 2 as recommended for the Building and Grounds Committee. Building and Grounds Committee, or Chairman McLean noted that the original bid was not open due to the additional work needed in the tunnel. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Pasula, to release the updated RFP courthouse electrical updates number 2 as presented. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would move that.
Support.
Motion made and supported to update and rebid the RFP for some electrical work that has to be done. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Apportionment of 2014 millages, this is to the full board. The committee reviewed the apportionment of 2014 millages, which will be on the agenda for the board regular meeting on Monday, October 13th, 2014.
Which is
It
great.
was moved by Commissioner Pastula, supported by Commissioner Kinsella, to forward resolution apportionment of 2014 millages to the full board. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would move that.
They're already on, so they're on the agenda.
Okay,
We don't need to take action on that.
except that it's for Monday, October 13th, that's today, so we're gonna pick it up. in a
Yeah, they're on the
place.
agenda though,
Okay,
right?
cool. Sheriff's
Okay.
Department, release for sale of vehicle, Fund 258, re-advertised info only. Committee was updated on the re-advertisement notice of receiving bids on a vehicle that was received as part of a drug forfeiture. An ad will be placed to receive bids on a 2001 Oldsmobile Laro with a minimum bid of 400, with the proceeds going to Fund 258 drug forfeiture sheriff. I guess that's just for information. Finance, claims and accounts, the committee reviewed the bills, payroll was presented for approval. It was moved by Commissioner Pastula, supported by Commissioner Kinsella, to recommend the approval of the general claims totaling $190,680.05. Other fund claims, $927,299.79. Payroll, $444,044.16. Health Department claims of $534,120.44. Total claims of $2,096,144.44. Vouchers H1 through H287. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported that the county pays bills. Is there discussion? I'm sorry, did I see a hand up or was something?
No, I was
Okay.
just.
All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Committee reviewed the following budget amendments. Revenue, Trident Task Force. The original was $2,500, amended $2,500. That was just from the Walmart grant. Expenditures, juvenile court jury fees, $3,500 as amended for jury trials, jury postage. The original was $2,500, amended was $3,100, the change was $600 to get more jurors. Building and ground maintenance, the original was $32,179, it was amended by $15,000. I'm not sure I got that right. 17, 1, 15. Okay, for the radiator project. Jail maintenance, $4,000, the amended was $9,000, the change was $5,000 for maintenance. That was for locks and things over there that they talked to us about. $41,000 for computer, and the original I think was the real amount was $46,630. It was $5,000 for the sonic wall that's part of the firewall for the computer system. The ROD capital outlay, original was $3,000, the amended was $4,500, difference was $1,500 for an NAS device. Trident supplies was $2,500 for the Walmart grant. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Kinsella, to approve the budget amendments as presented. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and so moved.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
The committee and chairman's comments, committee confirmed that the sale is closed on the courthouse annex at 300 Court Street. Yay. It was moved by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner McLean to adjourn the meeting, and Chairman Shackleton declared the meeting adjourned at 4:45 PM. Move for the acceptance of this report.
Support.
Motion made that we accept the minutes of the October 9th Finance Claims and Accounts Committee. And it's made and supported. Is there discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. We move then to new business. We have a number of things here. Vacancies for board, committee, agency, authorities announcement. That is on page 23. And we have a number of appointments and openings and that are coming up. And I presume these will be advertised, of course. Correct, Kelly?
Yes.
These will be advertised appropriately, both on our website and in the newspaper. And do we need to authorize anything here, or is it just for information?
The announcement.
Okay. So we do have lots of vacancies, if anybody's interested in applying. Inquire at the administrators or clerk's office, anybody can help you with that. Resolution, or rather the County of Chippewa ORV Ordinance 14-01, that's on page 26. And this is an ordinance for us to adopt, and I know it's an updated ordinance. Does anybody want to give a quick explanation who's on that committee?
Well, if I may, Commissioner McLean has been doing yeoman's work on this. I've been doing quite a bit of the attending with him on these, and I assume this has all of the facets of everything we need in it to make sure things move ahead. We've historically done this kind of thing for snowmobiles and I think ORVs. This is a good process to go into. It's a requirement of MDOT as we move to get roads blessed for short distances where people can come up on the edge of the highway to get in and out of towns for goods and services. It's good stuff. So.
And really, the intent of it is to provide lots of ORV opportunity, not to be overly restrictive.
Absolutely.
And I thought it was in a committee somewhere, but I know the sheriff was there and he said everything we're doing was fine with the sheriff's department.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So,
Do we have a motion?
I'll move we accept, the resolution, or,
It's a
no, it's not a
ordinance.
resolution, yeah.
It's
Also-
ordinance 14-01.
Ordinance, okay.
Okay?
And I'll support that.
There's a support. Do we need a roll call vote on ordinance? I don't know. We do, okay.
I think
Well, it can't hurt. Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Kinsella.
Yes.
Checking who's
Gotta
here.
go down the list a bit. Commissioner Kinsella.
I said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Commissioner Pastula.
Yes.
And Chairman Shackleton.
Yes, so that ordinance is approved. We move to resolution 14-20, which is support of the EUP RPDC UP Prosperity Region on page 30. And this came from Planning and Development, I'm guessing? Yeah, this is the Planning and Development resolution that I think we all had a chance to read.
I'll motion that.
I'll support it.
Motion made by Commissioner Kinsella, supported by Commissioner Pastula. And again, we need a roll call vote on that.
Commissioner Kinsella.
Yes.
Commissioner Pastula.
Yes.
Chairman Shackleton.
Yes, and that is approved. Resolution 14-21 is apportionment to the 2014 millages. That is on page 32.
Oh,
This is a normal course of business that happens every year, and I don't think there's something that jumps out as terribly alarming here. So I'll move this.
I will support it. Was there another millage we were supposed to do? Did we do recycling, or that's not covered in this one, is it? Did we do recycling last
The
month?
way I
Kathy?
understand this is,
I thought we were gonna do
The-
that in November.
no, I'm sorry,
Recycling.
that one's already been approved.
Or
Recycling.
November, maybe.
What was the other one that is going on?
911
911 is going on.
November.
Right,
It's already.
is going on in November.
We're good.
But, okay,
Yeah.
so,
And the recycling went.
so
in August.
Commissioner, the thing is the millages have been prepared
Right.
and as required by the state of Michigan. If for some reason that millage were to fail, then they'll just have to go to work and go back and change it, correct? But we have, this needs to be done to be in compliance with the state of Michigan.
That's my belief, yes.
So we have a motion and a support on this resolution. Is there any further discussion? Clerk, please take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Kinsella.
Yes.
Commissioner Pastula.
Yes.
Chairman Shackleton.
Yes. We move to resolution 1422, State Disaster Contingency Fund Grant Application. And that is for some money, I believe, for the road commission to help pay for all that. This was extreme winter weather damage that they incurred.
I'll move for resolution 1422.
I'll support.
Motion made and supported. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Kinsella.
Yes.
Call for discussion.
Commissioner Pastula.
Yes.
Chairman Shackleton.
Yes, that resolution is approved. And we move to Michigan Community Resolution and Intergovernmental Agreements for Floodplain. This is a multi-part resolution that we're going to do in one. This includes intergovernmental agreements for Bay Mills Township, Bruce Township, Detour Township, Drummond Island Township, Raver Township, Sioux Township, Superior Township, and Whitefish Township. And what's your pleasure?
I think we would probably move for all of those at once.
Mhm.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Motion made and supported that we approve these resolutions and intergovernmental agreements. Is there discussion on that motion? Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Kinsella.
Yes.
Commissioner Pastula.
Yes.
And Chairman Shackleton.
Yes. And that pretty much concludes new business. We move to commissioner comments. I guess I'd just like to point out that the discussion and attention on the Cloverland electric rates and the Presque Isle situation is increased greatly. This commission passed a resolution at our, that would be our September meeting, and calling on our legislators and governor and to somehow find a solution to this so that residents in the Upper Peninsula, northern Wisconsin, aren't passed on this burdensome increase in electric rates. So we're on that. That's already been sent, and I think, like everybody, we hope some solution is found, because it's a big increase. It's a big increase for homeowners and businesses. So,
It's gonna affect us in our budget, you know, we have no idea what's coming for us.
I think I read somewhere the Sioux Schools estimates it's an $80,000 increase just to the Sioux Schools.
I know we heard at one of the public things, or maybe it was in the Country Lines or County Lines magazine, that average homeowners, it might be $350 a year in addition
Yeah.
to what we're paying now. I took the liberty of talking to some of my contacts on the Canadian side, and their electrical rates are much, much lower than ours because they have a lot of natural generation capacity. They have 19 dams and 3 cogens, and they have windmills, and they have solar. They have better luck selling to the grid to the south than they do selling to the south in the US, and it would cost many million of dollars to match the two power systems impedance-wise, which is a technical term, but right now their power is different than our power, and we'd have to do a lot more than just running a cable across the pond and into the hydro plant. It's not quite that simple. So I don't think the solution is gonna come from the north, at least not yet.
Well, I guess I wanted to make sure that, we're on the record for having discussed and passing a resolution, and I think everybody here is as concerned as everybody else. It's a big issue. I don't know what the solution is, but I think it was created legislatively, and hopefully there'll be a solution legislatively. So, anything else?
Move to adjourn?
Support.
Motion made to adjourn, supported, all in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. This meeting is adjourned.
Alright.
Good discussion.